Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Lucy Letby's parents were a constant presence during her first trial. They unwaveringly showed up every day of the 10-month proceedings at Manchester Crown Court. Yet today, John, 77, and Susan, 63, were nowhere to be seen as their serial child killer daughter was found guilty of trying to kill another newborn baby. Jurors this afternoon took 3.5 hours to return their unanimous verdict at the end of a 13-day retrial on a single count of attempted murder. Letby, who was the most prolific child killer in modern British history, was 26 when she deliberately dislodged the breathing tube of baby K in the first hours of her life. In the following hours, the cruel killer tried a further 2 times to murder the infant, who was so tiny she would have fitted into Letby's open palm. The former nurse remained emotionless as the verdict was read out, while baby K's father held his head in his hands, and other relatives cried from the public gallery. But the criminal's parents, a retail boss and accounts clerk, did not appear in the courtroom. During her original 10-month trial, where she was eventually found guilty of murdering 7 newborn babies and attempting to kill 6 others, her parents had attended court every day so they could hear all the evidence against their daughter. They relocated from their home on a quiet cul-de-sac in Hereford, where they had lived for almost 4 decades after marrying in 1989, to Manchester so they could be nearby. Throughout the first trial, which ran from October 2022 to August last year, Mrs. Letby on occasion broke down in tears and appeared anxious during breaks when her daughter was undergoing particularly tough periods of questioning. Investigators suspect Letby, who will likely spend the rest of her life in prison, had told them scant detail of the horrific nature of the crimes she was being accused of before it was laid out in front of them in court. And as the guilty verdicts were returned, Mrs. Letby broke into a series of anguished sobs, which continued even after she had left the court. At one point she cried out, "You can't be serious. This cannot be right." Nothing suggests that Mr. and Mrs. Letby were anything but caring parents who showered her daughter with love from the moment she was born 5 months after they married. Growing up, Letby was a delight to her parents, neighbors remembered. She had a part-time job at W.H. Smith in the city, and her parents were immensely proud when she became the first in their family to go to university. When she attained her honors degree, they marked her graduation, in December 2011, with an announcement in their local paper, the Hereford Times. November 2020, Letby, from Hereford, is arrested and charged following a string of baby deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital's neonatal unit. August 2023, the nurse is found guilty of murdering 7 newborn babies and attempting to kill 6 others, making her Britain's most prolific child serial killer in modern history. The jury failed to reach a verdict on the attempted murder of a baby girl, baby K. July 2024, Letby is found guilty of the attempted murder of baby K. Alongside a picture of her wearing a mortarboard and clutching her degree certificate, they wrote, "Letby Lucy BSc Hans in child nursing. We are so proud of you after all your hard work. Love Mum and Dad." A similar announcement, with an accompanying photograph of Letby as a young child, was also placed in the same newspaper to mark her 21st birthday. Texts exchanged between Letby and her colleagues, however, hinted that on occasion she had felt smothered by her parents, feeling guilty about moving away from home. She explained they missed her and hated her living alone. She appeared to speak or text them every day and described them as suffocating at times. She told one doctor friend who was considering moving to New Zealand that she could never do that as it would completely devastate them. "Find it hard enough being away from me now, and it's only 100 miles, she said. In a message to another friend, she wrote, "My parents worry massively about everything, anything, hate that I live alone, etc. I feel bad because I know it's really hard for them, especially as I'm an only child, and they mean well, just a little suffocating at times and constantly feel guilty." A source told the Mail that Letby's loving MOT.